Here we go. Coming back at you from the Red Eye Loft. Today, we're visiting the Mandara Loft. George Mandara to my left here. All right. Now, what we have here in this cage, this probably is 2 feet by 3 cage, 2 by 3 cage. We have a hen and a cock. Homers, racing homers. Now, folks out there will look at these homers and think automatically that they're just plain, simple white homers, the type that you release at a funeral or a special occasion.
Not this
But
one.
they're not. These homers here are specifically bred for racing. And although you see the color in the cock and the hen doesn't have color, they both have good bloodlines behind them. And these birds here, they're bred for perfection as far as on the wing and racing to home and perform and get clocked and so on. These are competitive homers, not your regular dove release homers that you normally find at someone's loft when they have regular white homers. Now, as you can see, you got a hen and a cock. The hen is strutting for the cock. Mandara's been working with this bloodline for about 4 years now, and I think he almost has it perfected. He's on his 5th year coming up in 2021, and when that happens, he will have perfected a bloodline. That's what you mean by bloodline. When you breed a certain bloodline, in order to perfect the bloodline, you have to put several years in it. It's not just the thing that you take 1 year, you get 1 round, and you say, look, I've done it. It doesn't work that way. It takes several years, 5 to 7 years, I believe. Right, George?
5 years.
5 years?
Minimum 5
Minimum
years.
5 years. Okay.
To build a family. Sometimes you get lucky. You put 2 birds together, boom.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
Okay, but in order to build a solid foundation,
Law of averages, 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Working with a family.
So going back to the homers, can you tell me a little bit behind the bloodline of these homers?
I don't know what her number is. The cock's a Bastine.
Bastine.
Yeah, he's inbred, and I wouldn't look for much results from him because he's heavily inbred. But
The
the
hen?
white hen, she's ready for the races right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't let her out. because I need
What's the
stuff.
bloodline behind it?
What's the number on her?
I have 7. No, don't worry, I got it. 79.
79.
79. He's gonna find out real quick what the bloodline is to that white racing homer. Well, let me put it this way to you folks. George Mandara has a big heart, and he offered me this pair right here. So he said if I ever got into racing and I want to race some performance white homers,
79.
this is the pair that he would
We are
he
on the
would give
wrong,
me,
but
or whatever else he has in there. But at this time, I told him I'm flying tipplers. I'm not going to the dark side homers,
silver cock.
but I love his homers. They're really, really nice.
That isn't right. You sure you got the number right on it?
It says 79. Oh, 73? 73?
That's better.
73. 73.
73. White cock Hubin. Blue bar splash. Gabby.
Okay, so it's
Hubin
a
Gabby.
Hubin Gabby on that white side. Imagine that. And anyone that doesn't know anything about homers will look at that bird and think it's a regular dove release bird.
No.
And it's not.
They're all winners on that bird side. Every bird in her pedigree is a winner.
Okay, and there you have it, folks. Now here, let me see this book real quick. Hey, and for those out there, I keep stressing, if you want to know where your birds come from, record keeping is important. You see this? These are numbers and dates and stuff of birds that he
73.
has. 73, 74, white cock Hubin.
That's the one with all the blood on him.
You see?
He was in there fighting before I showed you.
Yeah. So
That's
what
her
I'm
father.
getting at is, if you don't keep records, if you don't ban your birds and give your bird an identity, you don't know what you have. Unlike some folks that don't believe in that, that's on them.
And on the backside, going even deeper, I started off with the Gilbertsons. And them I got from your brother when I came back from Europe. And that was the base. And all these blue splashes, which are my top birds in the loft, are genetically related to them in some form or another. I have them in silvers, I have them in grizzles, I have them in mostly the blue splashes because they got the
So
whole.
what you specialize is in colored performing homers.
I like splashes. I like colored pigeons, yeah.
Performing
But I
colored
want
pigeons.
they have to perform. I'm the president of the club.
Okay,
You
but,
know.
but what I'm saying is you are specifically breeding for performing colored homers.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
I usually give my blue bars away. Blue bars and checkers. When
Dime
I
a
bring
dozen.
one in, it's got to be a winner. It has to be an exceptional bird.
Okay.
And it'll stay here maybe 2 breedings, and I give it away.
Okay.
Or sell it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad the project that you have going on here is working for you. I like what I see.
guaranteed.
Now,
Everybody in this club that has my birds has won.
yeah, I
These
believe
birds
it.
are winning all
and you
over.
can see it in the birds the way they look. They look
Bill
exceptional.
Mahar got a couple of birds from me a couple of weeks back, and he was one of the best pigeon flyers in the whole state when
Okay.
it comes to gabbies and stuff. And he came here looking for birds. You know, he knew what I was bringing in. You have Butch. Butch is bringing birds from New York all the time. He's got excellent, excellent pigeons. I have his pigeons mixed in. Tim Persky brought in Staff Van Reeks, a good family, high quality Staff Van Reeks. I got a hen from him here. I only bring one bird in, you know, and it's a blue bar, but it was an exceptional bird. That's why it's here.
Okay.
And that's what I use. And I take like this inbred
The cock.
cock, this opal, and I use that for conformation. He's got an excellent body. He's got excellent wing. I don't care if he can race. I use it for whatever, and then I give them to my friends.
Okay.
You know, that's why.
And who are you gonna give that bird to?
That's yours.
Oh well, thank you, George.
And,
I appreciate that. When you're done, I'll be glad to come down and pick him up.
He's good.
He's
I
beautiful.
got children.
And I
have
like the
children
hen. Look
from
at this pairing. I like this.
him. She's an excellent hen.
She's beautiful. Look at how she's strutting.
Actually,
for him
she
already.
belongs on the race team, but I want to save the. When I get them pure white with that kind of a background on them,
Yes. Yes.
that's the one I save
Yes.
because I want to get more of the whites.
Right.
But I need a high caliber white.
Right.
I don't bring any more whites in. The whites that I have are better than any whites in the state, probably in the country.
Okay.
These whites will perform,
Okay. Well,
and they're hard to come by. That's why you never see them in my.
well, George. Like I said before, I think you're doing something good here for the pigeon hobby and performing the white. Let me back up and say perfecting the racing homer in the colored area, because everyone's used to seeing blue bars, blue checkers, and red checkers, and so on, or splashes, but they never really see birds like this. And this is what I like to see. And if I were racing, this is what I would be racing right here, because I like the colors. You know, although the dominant color out there is blue bar and blue
You
checker.
can still use the blue bars. You
Right.
can take like your brother's got excellent blue bars.
Okay.
Okay, if you got to get a good hen,
Good
from him,
okay.
and you go to him,
Uh-huh.
and then you raise children.
Uh-huh.
The ones that look like that, you put aside. The other ones you fly.
Okay.
Okay, when you get another one that has a pattern, a chocolate from a different person, you bring it in. When you get the third one out of that, go back to this one. Now you have enough, and they're starting to look like that. That's the time he can be eliminated, and you got birds that are crossed with performing birds. Even though you haven't trained them and done anything with, you know genetically you put it in. So
Genetics is the key.
They're,
Genetics.
So it's there.
Yes.
And then you take those children, you fly. And the ones that make you 100 miles, 200 miles. You know, my dad had triplets like you got. And I've heard of people taking them 100 miles and they come home. We had a guy, Freddie Shea, used to live in Fort Pierce. He flew homers. He had good homers. And he had a thing of baldies. We're not talking, you know, rat baldies, half mixed with homers. Regular baldies like I have in there. The guys are using them for Chicos. 350 miles.
Wow.
He had a dun baldy flew. So birds can fly. It's just
That's
getting
if
the
they
right
have
one.
the
You might lose
genetics,
100
right.
of them,
Right.
but now you have it and you put it in. they'll go.
Right.
Butch had a baldy, 60 miles from his house to Palm Bay, where you guys live. All right, he's on the other side of Port St. Lucie. Palm Bay. That's a long way.
Yeah.
And that bird made it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. He kept letting it out. I don't know, hit a wire or something happened to the bird. It ended up dying. But it never lost it. He took the bird and it flew with the homers, come home with the homers.
Wow.
He let the homers out, left the baldy in. She came home alone.
Wow.
It was a yellow baldy and it flew the distance. So if you put it with a good hen and you have stuff,
Okay.
they'll home, they'll do good.
All right.
And by the 3rd generation, depends on the quality of the bird you keep mixing with it, it'll come up a notch.
Okay.
You don't get it overnight. Some people do. Sometimes you put them, you don't know what you're going to get.
No.
But the law of averages is, they say it takes 5 years to build a family.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a
Don't
quick
bring
story.
other birds in. You only
Right.
work with
What
that.
did you have? Right.
And that becomes a family.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there's a gentleman on YouTube. He no longer posts videos on pigeons on YouTube. However, his name is Robert 51 or 5i or 51 or 5i, something like that. Anyway, he is the creator of what the birds that he named are called Pigeons, and the Pigeons and Pigianas. One was smaller than the other. He created this bloodline from 5 different types of pigeons. He created one bloodline, and then he sold a bunch of them, and he flew them around his house, and he has a couple of videos up on YouTube of the birds flying. But what I'm getting at is, I specifically spoke to that gentleman on the phone, and he told me it took him damn near about 7 years to create that one bloodline that
He's
he was
using
looking
different
for.
kinds of birds.
Yes, he used 5 different types to create one bird.
All our pigeons come from the rock dove.
Yes.
Fantails,
Everything.
powders, okay? The racing homers, there's no such thing as a racing homer.
No.
That is a dragoon and a carrier together.
Right.
That's how they developed the family of racing pigeons. Other guys were using barbs. They put the barbs, that's why they have the big wattle
Yes.
on them. They're a cobia bird. Some people started with owls. They used different owls to make families of birds. And they just keep training them, and they get the faces they want. And after 3 or 4 generations, when they start to breed true, now you have the birth of a new family.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you get a bird with a frill. Every once in a while, you get a bird with a cuff,
Yeah, crest.
crest,
Yeah.
cap,
Yeah.
feathers on the feet.
Right.
That's a throwback.
Throwback.
And when you do a lot of heavy inbreeding,
That comes
like
down.
this bird's got in it,
Right.
you have a chance of bringing that back. So if it had owl in it, you would get that kind of a thing with it. So, Rocky.
All right. So we're gonna end on this. Thank you to Mandara Loft for inviting us down here
Well,
today.
thanks for visiting us, and you know where we are. We're between Cocoa and West Palm. And, oh, hon, that blue bar cock that your son bought me, bring it out so we can show it.
Go get it. Go get it.
Show it to,
Go get that
Hey,
nice. That nice.
I got on Father's Day, there's out of the white bars.
Yes.
This is that a doll?
Yeah.
All right, that's this family.
This guy right here.
Yes. Of course, you can see it's been changed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Gilbertson I put into it, and you get it. It's on the race team. And
Look at that pair. That pair is beautiful. That's a nice pair.
yeah, that's a winning family of whites right there. That white hen, I wouldn't take $500 for her.
Good for him.
But I have friends that I think a lot of, and the friends I have a lot of, that I think a lot of, I always share.
Thank you.
Right, Bobby?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see that blue cock. It's a handful.
Look at this. Oh man, what a nice What a nice blue cock. Hey, let's put him in. Let's put him in the cage here. Hold on. This is nice. Nice wing. Look at the bars. Hey, look at the gold neck. Hey, oh, must belong to the Red Eye Loft. Nice red feet. Let's see. Oh man, look at that. This is the nice blue bar. Look at that. You like that? All right, folks. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe. And we're gonna end it with this blue bar right here. I'm off this.